Welcome to Mind the Mental. My name is Ryan and this is my channel. This is episode 3 of the Men Don't Talk series, and I want to give you guys in this video some actionable things that you can do tomorrow or next week, just things that you can implement in your life to feel a little bit better. Now, if this resonates with you, this video, this podcast, if you're listening to it as a podcast, should really help, because this is the things that I did myself and I had to figure it out the hard way. And the reason I'm doing this is because too many men suffer in silence, too many men are killing themselves, and there are ways to get better, there are ways to help ourselves and help our friends. So in this video, if you're listening to it, you might not need help yourself, but you might know someone that needs help. You might have a brother or a cousin or a father or just another male person in your life that you think is struggling with depression and mental health. Now, the first thing we got to do is we got to address what the problem is. Some of these things I'm about to list off are the more common ones that I hear about, some of the ones that I've been through myself, and the ones that I feel not qualified but best experienced through to offer advice. Because when I know that people will be listening to this thinking, who is this guy? Why should we listen to him? And what does he know? He's not a doctor, he's not a therapist. I just want to teach people through my experiences. I was in a really bad place. I went through some really hard times with my ex, my business, and being a father and losing my father, and I just went through a lot all at once, all in a very small space of time, and I had to figure out how to get out of that. And I want to, and it was such a horrible place to be in, and I don't wish it upon my worst enemy to have to feel that way. And I know there's men all over the place feeling like that every day. So if this video just helps one person feel a bit better, I feel like it was worth making. The things that I see most commonly happen, it's breakup relationships is a huge one for men struggling. Finance, that's a huge one that weighs so much stress on not just men but anyone. That finance can be a massive burden. Losing someone close to you, i.e. a friend or a parent that was close to you, like these things can really stick with us and make us feel depressed. And sometimes we can just feel depressed and not really know why. That's where seeing a proper psychiatrist to get to the root of the problem for that. It could be caused by a past trauma in your life that you haven't even accepted has happened yet. That's going out of my depth, but this video still might help you just feel a little bit better to get to the point where you're going to go and see someone to get that help that you need. If you're watching this and I have to put this disclaimer, if you are feeling suicidal right now, right in this moment, you need to call the emergency services. It's important. That is, and you need immediate medical attention where they can help you. And when you're feeling a bit better, watch this video, and hopefully this can help on your path. The first thing that we need to do, the first thing I'm going to pull up my list here. I wrote a list down so that I can, read it and put it down without forgetting what I'm talking about. So I've actually made a course that I am going to release soon. It's almost finished. I'm going to talk about some things from that course because it's easier for me to work through this course on the video rather than me trying to remember everything in my head. So the first thing I've got down here is acceptance, right? You have to accept that you're depressed, that you're feeling low. You have to really be like, okay, this isn't normal. I shouldn't be feeling like this. This isn't, I don't deserve to feel like this. I don't want to feel like this anymore. You need to accept that. If you deny that it's a problem, then it's going to be hard for you to get to the root of the problem. I think that we all know to solve a problem, we need to figure out what the problem is in its entirety first. Okay, so what happened? Why do you think it happened? Do you blame anyone? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about what you're experiencing? What do you feel that you just can't talk to anyone? Do you just feel like nobody cares? If you're feeling like that, trust me, we do care. The people care. The people that love you care. If you're watching this, feel free to message me personally if you want to talk to me, or I can give you more resources for other people to talk to and help you. And the other thing you have to think about is like, who have I ever spoke to anyone else about this? Have I ever brought this up with someone? Is anyone even aware that I'm feeling like this? Because often, someone one day you'll find out that they're gone, and people will be like, he seemed really happy, didn't seem like there was anything wrong, and that's what's scary. It's there isn't always signs from the outside to others, so you need to recognize these signs yourself, and you need to talk to someone and get that help. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next bit. So first of all, well done for accepting it, because while you were listening to it, you were probably thinking it and you're like, yeah, that is me. If you didn't do it that fast, it's not always as easy as that. Take some time. You don't have to listen to all this video in one go. You can come back to it. There's no pressure from this video. I truly want to help people, or if you think there's someone else that you know that can help, send this video to them. I also have a Facebook group, Mind and Mental. I will leave the link in the description if you want to talk to some of the other people in the community that I'm building and working towards, that all want to help each other. You can do that. So yeah, well done for accepting it. That's a huge thing, just accepting that there's a problem. Denying the problem is not going to help. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next part. The start change for me, what helped me was changing some of my habits. Now, you can't just fix yourself overnight. It's all about small increments of changing small habits, changing bad habits, and changing your routine up a little bit to feel better. The reason I call it mind and mental is a lot to do with how our mind, mental state, and our physical health is connected. So by being physically healthy and fit, it can help our mind to be mentally fit, if that makes sense. It doesn't always work exactly like that, but if you ever do something active, even just walking the dog, going for a run, doing some exercise, you release all those endorphins and you feel really good. You can build those habits into your daily life with multiple things. So first of all, you have to address, what are your bad habits? Do you stay up all night playing video games? Do you drink too much alcohol? Do you smoke too much weed? Like all these things, I don't want to be that nagging person that's like, you have to stop all this stuff. You have to accept there's a reality. This stuff does take a toll on your mental health. Some people, like myself, I was a drinker. I drank way too much, and now that I don't drink anymore, I've learned a lot more about why I did drink, and a lot of it was I drank because it helped me mentally forget about the problems I was dealing with. It helped me sleep, but I wasn't sleeping well. I don't even know what the words are for it. Those things are just numbing us to dealing with the issue at hand. That's the thing that's just keeping us stuck in that place. And if we don't change those habits, we're going to stay stuck in that place. And when you can see the habit you're doing, we will all convince ourselves. I know so many people that smoke weed and they're like, yeah, I smoke weed because I can't get through my day without it. It helps me mentally. If you have an illness of some other sort where weed helps you, I can't remember what it's called, when people can't stop shaking, Parkinson's and that. I've heard that weed can help with those sort of things. That's different. What I'm talking about is your mind. Weed is the same thing. It's numbing you. It's making you care about the problem, and as soon as you don't have that weed, it comes back. If you're out of weed or out of alcohol, these things are going to come back. And this video, I'm hoping, gives you the weapons to deal with that. I want to go through some good habits that I implemented in my life that helped me. If you haven't been following, if you don't know who I am and you're seeing this video for the first time, if you see some of the videos that I've made on my Instagram and Facebook, you'll kind of see my journey from being kind of, really low, rock bottom, to where I am now, which is physically fit, healthy, mentally clear, and I'm doing so many things that I always said I wanted to do, and now I'm actually doing it. Making this podcast is one of those things. I never intended to make podcasts to help people with mental health and stuff like that. It just happened that way. through all the other habits I've changed, I've just found myself in this position, which feels great to help people. So I'm going to go on to the next one. It all starts with change, and once you start changing those small things, you will see a snowball effect of all these things that can help. So one of the most important things is your mindset. Our mind is way more powerful than we give it credit for. And changing our mindset is so difficult. It's like asking someone that his favorite food is Hawaiian pizza to all of a sudden never eat Hawaiian pizza again because it's not good for you and pineapple doesn't belong in pizza. That's not a perfect example. That's just how to explain it. To change our mindset, we have to change our habits. And for example, I will give you, I told people at the start that I'm going to train and I'm going to do an Ironman. And honestly, people laughed at me. They're like, there's no way you're going to do an Ironman. And, that mindset of mine was, I'm going to do this Ironman. And I just worked through a series of things. And now I'm at this point where people are like, wow, he's going to do this Ironman. And he's actually achieving something he said he would do. And all these people told me I couldn't do it. But my mindset became so strong on my goal that it couldn't be changed. Now, I realize that doesn't always make a lot of sense, but if your mindset right now is, I don't want to talk to anyone, nobody can help me, I have to man up, which is the one that you'll hear a lot, I have to man up to deal with that, it's not going to work. You can tell yourself to man up all you want, you're just going to delay the problem, it's going to creep up at the wrong time very, very quickly, and you're not going to be prepared to deal with it, and I want to help prepare you to deal with this. Because that's what happened to me. It creeped up on me and things were pretty bad, and that was over 2 years ago now. And where I'm now, I would have never believed I could get to this place. And I'm not going to say it's easy, but once you start, it gets easier. It becomes more habitual is the right word, I guess. Like brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth every day. It's just something you do, and it's a habit. And fitness and exercise, you can compare it to like brushing your teeth every day. It's just something you have to do, not something that, I'm going to do it if I feel like it. It's just something you just solely implement into your life. The mistake a lot of people do is they try to do too much at once. They try to take on an abundance of like, I'm going to start running, and then they go run 5 kilometers and they haven't run in years, and they think they can run 5 kilometers. They either injure themselves, it feels horrible, they can't breathe, they end up in hospital or injured or wherever, and then they give up and they don't do it again. So you need to come up with a plan and baby steps. Let's run 1 kilometer today, let's do 1 push-up today, and then tomorrow we'll try 2. And it sounds ridiculous, but it works. The next question I'm going to ask you is, where's your fitness at? Or a question that you should ask yourself, where's your fitness at? Are you overweight? Are you underweight? Are you eating healthy? Are you drinking healthy? Are you taking care of your body? Are you on any kind of workout plan as it is now? Now, it's funny because when I used to see videos of people saying what I'm saying now, I used to be like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, I don't want to hear your fitness bullshit. I'm just, if you change your mind to start thinking about fitness and getting healthier and all the things that come along with that, because there's a lot of things to think about when you're doing that, it takes your mind away from having to deal with the hard things that you got in life, because some of those hard things can't be instantly fixed, but what you can take instant action on is your fitness. Like, you can go for a walk tomorrow, you go for another walk the next day and go a little bit further, and then after a couple of weeks that walk turns into a slow jog, and then before you know it, you're running. I know lots of people hate running, but you can adapt that to anything, whether it's going to the gym and lifting weights. If you ask anyone why they go to the gym, I reckon most of them won't say it's because they want to look great. That might be part of it, but most of them, they say they need to go for their mental health. And I never used to really get it, but now I really get it, and I'm an advocate for it, and I want to really push that message to people, because when you start getting fitter, your mind starts getting fitter. It's not a cure. It's just helps. It's a skill to help deal with it. Now let's go into the next bit here. Okay, my 3 favorite things to always talk about is to learn it. Learn what I'm talking about. Learn it as a skill. Think it as a skill. I'm a carpenter to trade. It's a skill that I had to learn, and I can't unlearn it. I know how to do it. I know how to build things. I know how to make things, and I'm good at it. And it took me years to learn that skill. I think of your mental health as something that you can learn as a skill, because people just want to feel better all the time. You're never going to feel great all the time, but what you can do is teach yourself what to do when you're not feeling great while you get through that hard time. What you can do to like get through it without getting into a bad depression, without it affecting your work or your relationship. When you can learn that as a skill, it's a very powerful skill, and it's a skill that, you know, I'm still learning. I'm not the master of this skill yet, but I've learned just a lot, so much in 2 years, and I feel like I'm getting. Like, I remember it's like when I was learning carpentry, like I couldn't do certain things, and as I got better at it, it became easier and easier and easier and easier to the point where I didn't even have to think about it. It just happened, and that's kind of the same view or course I took with my mental health, and it's working. So to learn that skill, you can't just pull it out of thin air. You have to do things. You have to read about it. You have to read certain books. You have to listen to videos like this one. You have to understand that you have to educate yourself better on the subject. So I have read on my list. I have read for the first one. Read. And if you don't like reading, you can buy audiobooks and listen, or you can watch videos like this one. There's lots of guys like me, lots of guys way more experienced to help than I am, but you know, I want to be one of those other guys that you can connect with. As you can tell from me speaking, I'm not just a natural speaker, video maker. I'm hoping that I'm going to get better. It's much easier doing these videos when I have somebody to talk to, someone to ask questions and them ask questions back to me. That's much easier, a conversation. But when it's just me talking for a longer period of time, and to keep everybody interested in what's been talked about is a bit more difficult. And the next one is you have to listen. Listen to people that have been through hard times. The people that I find they're good to listen to, if you meet successful people or successful men, like I often find these successful men have always been through something similar to what I'm going through, and they figured out how to get through it, whether they talked to someone or whether they did it through fitness, and they like, it's almost like hitting that rock bottom and then getting through that rock bottom made them more powerful, more mentally fit and physically fit. Like successful people tend to have a story where they've been through. Like any hugely successful person that I can think of has a story that's the hardest story. So it's almost like the harder the story, the wealthier the person. It just doesn't always work like that. It's just a common occurrence I see. So that's another one. Yeah, listen to people that have been through it. Listen to people that have experienced it, and listening as well as talking is also very helpful. And now the big one, I do this every day in some form or the other, is to write. When you're having a feeling that you don't really understand, just try write it down. Even when you text it to yourself on your phone, or use your notes or a notepad. For it, I'll give you an example. You're at work and all of a sudden you just don't want to be near anyone. Everyone's pissing you off. You feel like you want to quit your job and you want to move somewhere else. Like it comes some of the, like this, it doesn't happen to me anymore like that, but it used to come crashing into me like that. Like such powerful emotions, and I never knew like how to deal with it. But I started writing these things down. I'd write down, okay, I'm feeling like I don't really like my job right now. I don't feel like I'm making enough money. And when you start writing these things down, it's almost like you're taking the issue out of your mind and putting it into a bit of paper. So, you know, you're taking accountability in the sense for what you're feeling. You're acknowledging what you're feeling. And in order to help yourself fix what you're feeling, you can't just ignore it. You have to acknowledge it and then use the information that you can learn to deal with it. So writing is a huge one. That's like one of the best things I ever found, that I didn't know that writing would ever help me mentally. But just writing things down and understanding what's going on in our head is a massive thing. Now you're at this point in this podcast, and you've probably thought about a couple of the things that I brought up, and just thinking about it and thinking positive. You're maybe thinking positively a little bit, like, okay, I could do that. Yeah, I can do that, and it feels good. That little sense of goodness you're feeling right now is the flow that you got to stick with. You got to roll with that feeling. Just that it's a little dopamine hit of, oh God, he's saying something that's making sense to me, and I want to keep going with it so that I can keep feeling it. And that's what I want to pass on in this video. So yeah, I got it written down here. Feels good, right? This is in my course. Now, a word I use across all my social media, I use it in every hashtag that I do, I use it in every conversation I have with people, is consistency. Consistency. I used to have a page, and it was called For the Motivated, and it's about motivation. And as I tried to be motivated, I realized that motivation was not always there. Consistency is the word that I like to use, because motivation is not always there. Consistency is. So you're not going to be motivated to go for a walk. You're going to, and especially if you're dealing with depression, the feeling of depression is you just want to curl up in your bed and you want to ignore the world, and you just you pull away from friends and family, and you can't just sit around and wait for motivation, because it's never going to come. You have to have discipline and consistency, and by consistent, you know what the word consistency means to me. Consistency is just doing, like, making a plan. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to run. Like for me, I've moved up a little bit, but at the start is okay. I'm going to run 3 kilometers tomorrow. And then I would wake up that next day and I would not want to run 3 kilometers. But because I wrote it down and said I'm going to do it. So I did it anyway, even though I didn't want to do it. And even like, you're going to go through this feeling if you really take on what I'm saying and try it. You're going to feel that, like, I don't want to do that. And you will convince yourself not to do it. You'll come up with an excuse in your head, like all of a sudden your knees sore, your legs sore. I mean, obviously if you're injured, don't injure yourself. But like, if you know how you really feel, you know that, like, okay, I'll probably be okay to go for a walk. I'll probably be able to go for a run. But doing it when you don't feel like it, and once you start doing it, I guarantee you will start to enjoy it, and you'll be like, I'm glad I did it. And then you'll finish what you set out to do. And even if you don't complete it in the way you thought you did it, you still showed up and you still did it. You still like started doing it, got into it. That's being consistent. And consistently being consistent is one of my favorite things to say. So yeah, you have to do it whether you're feeling good or feeling bad. You probably see all these videos on social media, do it tired, do it tough. Like, there's a reason these videos resonate with us, because it's true. They're a little lame, they're a little cheesy, but it is absolutely true. I mean, I'm training for an Ironman, and I say about 60-70% of the time, I don't really feel like going for a 2.5 hour bike ride or a 21 kilometer run on a Sunday morning. Like, I don't always feel like doing it. But when I start doing it, I always I'm glad I'm doing it. And the feeling you get after doing it, and all the time you're putting in to being consistent is just time that you're not spending just thinking about like all the bad stuff. You write that bad stuff down so that you can work on it, but then you get to focus on something that's actionably positive for your body and your mind. Things that break consistency are excuses, as I just mentioned, and ways that you can stay consistent is by holding yourself accountable. Some ways you can hold yourself accountable is tell a friend, hey, I'm going to go for a 2 kilometer run tomorrow. You've told your friend, and that's accountability, because if you don't go for a run, that friend's going to be like, hey, how was your run? And you have to say, oh, I didn't do it. So you're holding yourself accountable. It's not going to feel very good then pointing out that you didn't do it. But that's some ways you can by writing things down. I'm going to do this, make a checklist, I'm going to do this. That's giving yourself accountability. I give myself accountability. I put myself out there. I'm not suggesting everyone does this. I make videos telling people I'm gonna do an Ironman. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make these videos. I'm gonna help you. I make myself accountable by doing those types of things. What now? You find out how to be consistent. You have accepted what you're dealing with. You have realized your bad habits, and you're understanding that you need to have a different mindset. You understand how important it is to be physically fit in relation to helping your mental fitness. And you have to study, you have to learn, you have to educate yourself on the skills of dealing with the stuff you're going through. And you have to stay consistent. Now, that is the key things that I wanted to bring out right off the bat. All the things I've said, I know I always say it's always easy to say things, but to do it, the way you're feeling right now, watching this, if you're in that position and you're still thinking about what I said at the start of the video of, dealing with a breakup, feeling suicidal or depressed, down, it's hard to get out that feeling without doing something something that you don't really want to do, like go for a run, go to the gym. It's really hard to do that. You have to do it when you're not feeling good, because the only way, not the only way, but one of the best ways is to give yourself that physical fitness is by doing it feeling like shit. When I started going to the gym, I started going to the gym not long after my separation. I did not want to go to the gym. I didn't want to do anything. My whole life was uprooted. And so I can't remember where I saw a video. It was a video or a podcast I listened to. I think it was Modern Wisdom, Chris Williamson. I think it was him. And it's just like, go and do the thing that you said that you're going to do, even if you don't feel like doing it. And I was in the gym. I felt horrible. I was depressed. I was low. I had no ambition in life. I felt like I was failing as a dad. But I just started lifting weights. I started small. I had no idea what I was doing when I walked in the gym. I am not a gym bro. I would be that creep that would watch how someone would do something, and then I would try and copy them, and I would watch again. And before I knew it, people were coming over, offering me help and advice, and I made a bunch of friends. And I just became a habit. I just was going to the gym. And then that transpired into me wanting a bigger challenge. So I started running again. And then someone put the idea in my head of an Ironman. And without any Ironman training, I booked myself to do an Ironman in Ottawa. And now I am working with a charity. I have a coach. I have a bike, which I got recently. And these things 2 years ago were just not even a thought in my head. And it was all just from making that decision not to let this low point in my life define me. I would think about my kids and like how they're going to look at me. I want them to be proud of me. I want to be a good father. And if something happened to me suddenly, like by accident, I would like my kids to know that I was a good person, I was a hardworking person, and that I was taking care of myself so that I can take care of them. And maybe one day when I'm old and decrepit, that they could take care of me. So yeah, I'm not going to go too much further into this video. I definitely have some editing to do in this because there's a lot of pauses. Usually I don't struggle talking so freely to the camera, but in this one, because this video was so important to me to make and post, I found it a lot more difficult to make because it's such a subject of opinion from a lot of people. But the root of the thing is, men don't talk enough. Men suffer in silence. You do need help. And if you can help someone, help them. And if you need help, talk. Text your friend. Call your buddy. Let them know that you're not feeling good. And if you see signs of a friend that you think needs help, talk to him. Tell him to talk. Pass the message on. Make it normal to talk about what you're dealing with. It's not unmanly. I think if anything, it's more manly to talk. I hope this helped. I apologize if I'm kind of all over the place. Once I get this course done, and what to do actually, write your name or comment below. me, and I will send you this course when it's done. It's almost done, and you can go through it yourself page by page. I might actually just put this into a PDF right away and try to get it out there in the next couple of weeks, because it's already done. I'd hope to add some more videos to it, but it's just a 13-page bullet point of things you can work through, and if you could go along with this video as you look at it, it would definitely help. Thank you for listening. I have so many guests lined up. I have guests in Australia. I have people in Canada. I have a friend in Scotland that I've been trying to get on here, and it's the community of this, men talking up and dealing with their mental health is growing. I know there's multiple big companies out there that do the same thing, but I'm trying to create a community of normalizing it, that people just be like, hey, have you seen that Mind and Mental? Those guys on there. There's construction workers, police officers, firefighter. I'm an ex-fireman myself, so I've seen some stuff on that point of view, and that stuff can kind of haunt you a little bit. So yeah, speak up, listen to my other 2 videos, and I hope you all have a great day, and stay tuned for the next video.